with 195 countries affiliated to United Nations, 275 countries independent and dependent, and out of which there are 3 countries who are facing war right now. However, nobody knows how to stop it, but everybody has an expert opinion, which you can see everywhere. Now, my point over here would be, are few people allowed to, proceed the cases in the International Court of Justice and the International Court of Criminal Jurisdiction, which is the International Criminal Court, or are people from other jurisdictions, especially the lawyers, allowed to do so? A very good evening to you all. Welcome back to the first episode and the introduction to the Volumes with Royal Anbu series. It's more about international law, its inside, its mysteries, and as well as the way a confusion can lead to more progressive solution. This is Pritesh Royal, your host for the day. Now, if you see the situation these days, since 2019, we have seen 3 massive cases circling around the world. The first one was the Rohingya case coming out of Rangoon and Myanmar in totality, but not Rangoon, it was Rakhine State. The second was the very own COVID war. It was a pandemic where everybody and everyone had to be still. Whereas then came the Ukraine Russia war, just because of breaking a treaty which was signed between NATO and the Russian Federation after the disintegration of the Soviet Union. And now the Gaza Palestine Israel issue. Whereas we see that over the years, international law has played a vital role, and the acknowledgement of international law has been next to nil. Now, if I say that today international law is much more needed than what it was in 1945 till the present 2018, I would not be wrong. But let me clear this fact today, that it's not me or somebody else who's been given an opportunity to, explore or, bring out the truth behind the scenes, because few lawyers and few barristers or few attorneys, with reputation can work on it. Now, I, as a person, as an independent lawyer, as an advocate, as a foreign registered lawyer, or even an independent international lawyer, would say that is it only those people who have that expertise in some other field of law or some other, jurisdiction, who are, more superior to others just because they were the founding fathers or their countries were the founding fathers of the United Nations and the other organizations, be able to get this reputation of serving these type of interest? Or there should be an expert who is independent, who can give you some input which you also do not know about. Now, it's all my personal opinion for the moment, and I would not be biased about anything or anyone. To my viewers, I would say that it's just my thoughts on the process that has gone on, which is going on and gone before the time the Rohingya war took place and all those stuff. But if you analyze it in the other position, like what I do, I try to bring, certainty with a lawyer's mind, a mind of a detective, which would be somewhat like a mix of, Batman, or it's a frictional character, but yes, a Batman, Sherlock Holmes, or Bonkesh Bakshi, as in the Indian context, and also the criminal mastermind effect or the Lord of the Crimes, somewhat like Moriarty, or somebody who had been a great character portraying, the mysteries where the evidences were there, or they had just completely eradicated all the evidences to make a complete crime happen. Now, if you see the present case, for example, the Palestinian issue has been one of those where nearly every citizen or every layman knows about how the proceedings in the court goes upon. That's in the International Court of Justice. If you ask me, it's a well good decision to at least see what is going on, and people can be more, educated on the subject, and educated in the fields, whatever is going on, how the world operates and all. But if you ask me, the traditional lawyers will still say international law does not apply to us. We still have our national laws applying. And if this comes to their own border or within their own jurisdiction, then what will they do? Will they rely on people who are just, say, 1,000 miles or 1,000 kilometers away from them? Or will they depend on somebody who is nearby and who can at least guide them in the proper way? However, this question is still unresolved. And in this context, I have nothing else to say but to just ask people, if you are aware, if you want knowledge, if you want some actions to be taken, as you are taking action for, taking some self decisive modes of, protesting, to peaceful protest, to be honest, and sometimes you're trying to aware the public of what is going on and on. I would like to say that you also need people who are there in the legal field, who are independent and who can do this work. Now it's all up to you to decide upon, because it's not so easy to get into this position, and people have a set of ideas which are very different from what I would say. Now, the ideas would be that international law is only for experts to play upon, and they define experts as somebody who has a knowledge and wealth of knowledge in law, maybe criminal, civil, or anything, and then they are, promoted to this level because of their experience of, court hearings or something. Now, if you ask me, the expert should not rely on courts and four walls, but he or she should be someone who knows beyond those stuff. As you know, there have been a lot of cases